Hi guys, hello everybody. Thanks again for joining us for the Friday Funda. This is your host Dayan from F1. We have again yet another interesting speaker who truly believes in where design can actually touch millions of lives, right, and make a huge difference. So he's going to talk about a very. I think most of the folks who have from the IT field, they understand the UX and CX, but he's going to bring something another angle to it, which is called PX. So let's understand what does it mean. So we have Tyagarajan. So yeah, I mean most of the folks who know him, we call him Tyagi. So I know Tyagi from almost a couple of decades now, and I mean very strong designer, very good architect, and uh, also he was one of our arch rival in our football. So yep, so these guys gave a lot of tough competition during our stay in architecture. And post his architecture, he did his masters from IIT Delhi, where he specialized in product design. And so he's been in the industry for more than 15 years now. Worked in companies like Tata Lexi, 3M, and now he's with GE for more than 8 years, and more towards trying to focus on the healthcare sector. And he's also an award-winning industrial designer. He's won a couple of awards, international awards, and one of the very well-known awards which he won for his brilliant product, which was for the portable ultrasound device, right? So, which was targeted for the developing nations like Africa and Asia. So let's try to understand like what kind of a design thinking and process that actually goes into in terms of the healthcare sector, right? And why he loves what he's trying to do there. So without wasting much of your time, Tyagi, over to you. Please walk us through your journey and help us understand what PX and how the healthcare industry works.
Yeah, thanks, Diane. Thanks for this platform. It's like uh, it's kind of a nice platform to speak to the fellow designers and people who kind of share our passion. So basically, if I have to put everything in one line, this is the burning hunger and passion to create a difference. That is what I see. I believe everyone in their profession tries to do that at some point of time, right? That is the thing which kind of drives us. So with that, this is just my view and understanding of patient-centric design, the EX, we call it that. Because I work for industry leading manufacturer, the equipment manufacturer GE, General Electric. We are known for our robust systems, the technologies, what we give, deliver to the enablers. What I mean by enablers are the doctors, the technicians in the field. We kind of help them to serve their patients better, right? So we are a part of the journey, right? So if I see a PX in a similar way, I want to ask a simple question. It's like, what is the difference between UX and PX, right? UX is I design a phone, a car for a user, right? So I understand his needs, his aspirations, and I design a product, okay, which kind of suffices his need. When it goes above that need, he kind of loves it, right? He lives with that your idea, okay. If you see PX, imagine I design a system or an instrument or a scanning system, or we'll take ultrasound. So the user is the doctor or a sonographer, the technologist, right? It is used against a patient, okay? So just maybe you guys can try to feel in my way, just try to close your eyes. Right, have you guys been through ultrasound, or maybe there would be younger audience here also? So it's like you go to a dark room, right? The room has to be in certain temperature. It has to be cooled so that technology can work on you. And there is a technician who knows what exactly he needs to do, right? And there is a patient, okay? So when you take an ultrasound, your bladder has to be full. So you drink a lot of water and you go in without any previous experience or what to accept from the scan. And believe me, the first time maternity patients, right, the pregnant woman, they will be in all sorts of fear. The family will be all sorts of in fear because it is a test. It is a test which is will be conducted inside your body, which matters to you the most, to your family the most, right? So they will be in a sort of fear. The test should be all right, everything like that. Is somebody in that room understands the emotional needs of the patient? We don't do that. I will give you an example. It's like the room is cool, right? So to do a scan, they will put a gel on the stomach, okay? Which for many of the first time, maybe not first time, for in most of the cases, it's like you will be in a very uncomfortable position. It's like you will feel the chill around the body, right? And the room will be completely dark. You can hardly see the face of the doctor. There won't be any conversation between the faces. You can only hear what the doctor is saying. And there is a moment, that is what we call it. It's like there will be a moment when the doctor scans your stomach. He will ask you to look at the screen. That is the first time you see what is growing inside you. And there is a moment of happiness, smile in that moment. We don't care about it, or we don't capture it, right? Because it is completely dark, and you are in this uncomfortable position. So PX is all about it. It's not about the technology. It's not about the user. It's about the holistic way of seeing how the care is taken. Right? The technology is one piece. The technology is the other piece. These are all pieces of one puzzle. But if I can make the patient feel like I am cared of, or somebody is taking care of me, that is the best of PX can offer. So with that, maybe I'll get into the journey. It's like you can see the illustration. I have created this illustration before some years. It's like it is like entering a dark room. You just open the door. That is how I approach you. The unknowns are like unless you have a light. So I will tell you what can bring that light. The only thing which will drive you here is your heart, your strong desire, or this burning desire to create the difference, to create a holistic care which can bring a smile in a customer face or a patient space. That is what it is all about. So uh, so this is me. It's like be this is the way I approach. It's like be bold or sleek but never regular. So there are a lot of people who are solutions. We kind of create a regular which can suffice our need at the time. But when you are bold, when you try to create that difference to the guy who is lower on the pyramid, right? I'm talking about the unprivileged sectors and segments. That is where you kind of use your skill to the best. So maybe I can explain what I do with this illustration. Once my daughter asked, "What do you do, Papa?" It's like, "What do you do?" So I said, I was trying to explain her, but it's technical stuff. I'm not able to convince her. So I took this picture. I created this picture. So you see this giant hairy ball, right? That is the problems of the world, right? There are so many problems. It is a very giant. Maybe the size is just assumption. Maybe it is like maybe light years away, so it looks small. So we carefully take a thread at one time, and we'll try to create the possibilities. You can see the thread is trying to get a shape, and you can see a heart glowing there. If you see that yellow cube, that is not only me, it is like the passionate colleagues, the passionate team we have, and the light head kind of represents the strength, the ideas we bring. But it is not only about the idea or the technology. You can see the bird which is singing over the head. So we enjoy doing this stuff day in and day out. And we try to visualize the possibilities, the solutions, we give shapes, and we love the moment when it turns into a life, right? So you can see so many butterflies in the song. The it's like when you hear a beautiful song, right? You have a responsibility to share that song with your friends or to the world. That is what we do, right? You can see slowly it is getting bigger, and the environment is filled with these kind of things, which creates a better, I don't say tomorrow. It's a today. We have to act now, and we are just a piece or a dust or star dust in that space, for that matter. So that is me, or the team I kind of represent. So we are the change makers. That is what we are proud of. We bring the change. We try to add. Uh, we are not like jokers who wants to add a smile to the face in a different way. We are the dark knights. We want to add a smile in a different way and visualizing the better tomorrow. So this is about me. It's like I started as an automotive designer. I felt in midway, automotive design is not holistic, because I was drawing a door for like 6-7 months. I was visualize the best of the surfaces, best of the curves, but I felt it was incomplete. It's like it doesn't have the holistic approach in the process. So I kind of switched to the core product design, and started working on some strategy and design thinking. What is uh, the thing I love about doing, and getting the design into the big industry to understand its true potential, and how we can create the difference by thinking in a human-centered way, right? So this is what I call the moment that matters, right? So there are a lot of passionate professionals. It can be a doctor, it can be a technologist, or it can be a social worker who strive hard to bring the care to the people or unprivileged sector. It's like in ergonomics we study. It's like what is the right height for switch, right? So we consider it's like a 60th percentile, the lowest uh, grown adult in 60th percentile. If he can reach that switch, everyone else in the system can reach that switch, right? That is the approach here. If we can bring that care to the people who are in that 60th percentile, then all the other people in the system can reach that. So that is how I think, and that is what I strive for. So in this picture, you can see there is one such a kind of self-driven doctor who is trying to create a difference. And you can see there are a lot of technology lying on the table. But if you ask me what matters the most is this, okay, this guy, the family, and of course the patient. I have just made the bracket bigger so I can include me. The small idea you put on that table on that moment will create a mountain of difference. So that is what I'm going to talk about today, and I'll show you one example which kind of reflects this sense. So if you ask me, patient-centric is in dream, it's a sense. It's like making the system understand what we can offer to the patients in an unadulterated way. One in user experience, we call it as like one delightful experience for our users or all the users, right? That is what we strive to do. So there is no definition for PX, no standard definition of PX. So you can see the Bell Institute, who are forerunners in thinking about these things. So they taught in these lines. For example, if you go to a hospital, right, you are in a kind of emergency, do you have a comfortable chair to sit? What happens? The patient goes alone to the scan. That is what we allow in a lot of hospitals, right? The people, the family who are with the patient, they will be sitting somewhere in a staircase. You might have seen these days in a staircase or standing in a corridor, anxious to know what will happen next. Who will come and speak to me? Or the person who went for the scan, my son, my daughter, my father, what happens to that guy? I'm not able to be with him, right? This COVID situation kind of explains everything or make us feel this situation, guys. It's like, so in this situation, we can only sympathize. Right? My parents, my old parents are there. I don't know how they are buying a grocery. I cannot go and meet them. So I can only sympathize. I cannot empathize. So patient-centric is all about empathizing, putting yourself in that situation. If you are that anxious relative or you are that anxious patient, who does not know what will happen to you next, right? So it is sum of all the interaction shaped by the organization. So organization in the sense, if the hospital thinks about the emotional needs of a patient, their family, right? All these things kind of contribute to PX. And so as a designer, it's like we are good at showing things. So we never tell things. Uh, that is how we kind of approach this. We kind of get into the system. We kind of work with the key stakeholders there, and we show them with your small effort what kind of difference we can make in this complete cycle, right? So this is like a triangular story, guys. Like we should understand this triangle in a holistic manner so that we can increase the area or reach. So it's like you can see these 3 points in this triangle, right? Physical, clinical, and emotional. If you can pull this triangle from all the 3 points, no matter where you pull, the triangle is going to become bigger and bigger. What I mean is the experience, what we are trying to build will become more and more. It will be more human-centered. It will be more appealing to the people who cannot afford certain things, right? So these are the 3 basic things: the physical, emotional, and clinical, right? Physical comfort, safety is like you can under. It's like having a comfortable chair. It's like suppose a cancer patient goes to a hospital to go through a chemotherapy session, right? So it will be like a bird box. You go in there, there are no windows, nothing. So already the patient will be suffering with certain disease inside him, and over that you have this radiation, and over that you have this chemotherapy, and the only thing he can see is uh, the roof of the room he is sitting in. Maybe this room will be like a telephone box, something like that. So the emotional needs are not taken care, and the family will be sitting somewhere, right, and crying, something like that. So it is like you need to understand this triangle in a holistic manner, then only the best of the solution we can create. So it uh, mm, it kind of boils down to this thing. Okay, the experience has to be immersive. uh, it can be interactive. So basically we are talking about the environment which has an enabler, right? The technician, which has a technology, and all the other pieces, like starting from the security of hospital, how he treats people coming inside. If you start with a smile, right, then that is where we have to begin. Like parking a car in a hospital, you are taking your wife to a scan. Okay, it's a scan is at 9 o'clock. You leave your wife on the road so that you can go and park your car. Okay, even that moment matters, right? So we have to take care of all those things. All this thinking start from this one word, like wouldn't it be nice? When we start thinking like this, when we kind of make the system or the organization or other peers, the technology leaders, the engineers, everyone think like this, wouldn't it be nice if? So that is the starting point. That is where we start, guys. So this is our approach. So that is the factory we are in. We kind of you can see the residue of the factory. We create hearts. That is what we leave outside, and we create a lot of new process and threads. That is the kind brush kind of shows, because every problem and every kind of solution is different. So we have to like customize, we have to alter. So if you have to do that, you have to understand the things better. So this is our approach. This is a standard design thinking approach. So we start understanding the journey of each enabler or a key stakeholder, right? Then we do a design thinking workshop, or what we call it as a co-creation workshop, to make them understand, guys, you are holding a key piece of a puzzle. Okay, so if you come together, that is when we kind of complete the puzzle. And believe me, while you are completing the puzzle, you will feel happy about it. And the person at the end of this who is receiving that care, okay, he will be happy about it. That is when you see a smile in his face, right? And you guys are well versed in this artifacts. We create personas, templates, guidelines, and measuring tools to kind of test it. And last part is the physical one, the ambience, starting from a comfortable chair to sit. Uh, with that, I will get into the box. It's like in GE, like we have a global design team, and we have many passionate designers. It's like who strive hard to bring these kind of changes in the world. Um, so I'm just one part of it. So I can relate, you guys can relate to that image better now. It's like there will be always a business goals, and there will be always a number it should meet. Okay, and you are already there because of your skill. So people believe you can bring the change, or you are the enabler who will enable that business goal into like something else, right? But the best of things comes when your passion kind of aligns with your skill, and you strive, take effort to make your passion and skill kind of align with the business goals. And you kind of convince the other guys in the room, uh, doing things in a user-centric way, enabling people or empowering people, is when the system will reach its what is it, the AP state, the happiest state. So that is how I kind of work. So I keep talking about the moment that matters, right? So it's like you might have seen a lot of theories about the God, the kindness. Okay, that is how I see God. God is a form of kindness. Okay, so anyone who helps in that moment, you see some form of the godly form in him, right? So this is the moment what I'm talking about. Okay, so this may be like a pregnant woman who is like this is the last piece of care. So she is in a group, right? She is connected. She has a particular dress. That means she is well informed and she has a knowledge about doing things, and she's doing actions, so the exercise, right? So she's privileged to have somebody teaching her how to approach this entire session. So just take a moment, guys, realize how many of us or how many of people in the world can have a situation like this. But whatever growing inside you, it's like it's the happiness is the same. It's like a emoticon, right? If I'm happy, I have an emoticon. That emoticon is like same for everyone. Okay. So now I'll show you other picture. So you can see the dreams in our face, right? Okay. So what do you think, guys? This is the moment I kind of stuck with. This is when I thought the skills, the passion you have, like you have to do something you can change. Basically it is what it is. Maybe I can give you that moment, so you guys can like reflect on it. So the happiness is the same, the bump is the same, the happiness which is growing you inside the thing. Okay, so then we'll come to our system. So who is creating this difference, or what is creating a difference? We have best of technology, right? The technology doesn't have these things, right? Your social strata or your lines in your social system, the technology works same for everyone, right? So who is not enabling, or who is not taking this the similar kind of experience there, right? So maybe it is all who are like, it is me, it is you. There are a lot of guys who are out there. We know, we empathize, right? But most of the time we just sympathize and we stop there. Okay, this is how it is. This is how it is. Like the picture I first shared, there are already passionate people in every field is there in the society who wants to bring the change, right? It's not only about technology, right? It is about the enabler. So that is when the smallest thing what we kind of bring into the table that matters. So if we kind of push the organization, the team, guys, okay, uh, you want your dollars back from the investment, you want a successful product. Yes, the successful product can be loud, right? The idea can be loud by the people. So that is where I see we guys as dark knights, right? We there is no need to be a face, right? You wear that mask, you see the world from that mask, then everything changes, right? So it is a matter how many of these dark knights will stand up to see the Gotham city. That is how it is. So this is one product we work. It's like from GE, which has won a lot of international awards. Not only this Good Design Award, it has won a President's Awards in Singapore, and it has won a lot of accolades from UNICEF, and that does not matter. It's like what kind of makes me happy about it is we kind of able to bring that peace, the emotion to care. Okay, so this is the moment that matters. you see a happy, she is not a doctor, she is not a sonographer. You cannot say, so to be a sonographer, you need a degree. So she is in between. She understands every phase of the growth which is happening inside that belly. Right? She is an expert by her own standard, uh, but she doesn't have a degree. But you see these two brackets, those are the moment that matters. You are being cared, right? The care is coming to your home, or the care is coming to the place where you can reach, right? And for, if you ask me, the technology is the last phase of this thing, the moment that matters. Okay, so I can give an example. Let's say you can see a hand, right, where she is holding the probe, and there is a hand on the screen. Okay, our eyes is on the probe. Okay, so it kind of says that that is how I see a triangle. So I cannot move the probe further, or I cannot move the screen further. It has to be in a proportionate triangle where the three kind of eyes meet. So I think you guys are getting what I'm trying to say. So the triangle I showed earlier, the emotional clinical, you can see the triangle in this picture. That is what I am proud of. I am not proud of the awards it has won. You can see it's like it's a very precise device. The probe, which we call them the midwives. So there is an interesting story about midwives in India. Maybe if you go and ask your moms or your grandmothers, it's like we had the concept of midwife, right? There will be a oldest lady in a village or something who's an expert, who takes care of all this maternal needs, but we somehow successfully destroyed that concept. So we believe in a structure. So everyone wants to go to the highest of the hospital to get best of the care. And it is like that water bottle story, guys. It's like instead of spending money in purifying the water, putting it into the bottle, which can be afforded by only certain class of people. Instead, you spend all that money and invest that money in cleaning your water supply system so that everyone can drink water from the taps. So that is an idea. So this is a very precise system, and the probe the midwife is holding in her hand, which costs more than $1,000. Okay, so it costs a lot, the technology or the components, but through design, what we have brought is we have made this solution portable. One, we have made it completely robust. So it gives a lot of confidence to the midwife to, I will share other pictures, how it can be carried, and wherever it goes, that is the length of your heart, right? Or your arm can reach. So this was designed to help primary healthcare workers to, so you can understand this, guys. It's like in pregnancy, the earlier you detect anything, it's better. It's like, because it is not a matter of money, it's not a matter of time, it's a matter of like your emotions and the thing you love the most, which is unborn, right? It's like your idea, which is unborn, still you love the most. So that is where we took this care. And you can see the bag on the picture, and you can see the setting. So it makes the patient comfortable. Getting a scan in your home, right? And the care is reaching your home. And this is not happening in the highest of the economies. It is happening in the underprivileged countries. And at the same point, I am very proud of this innovation, this design. At the same point, I am equally irritated because this is the product we need in India, like a country in India. Okay, so why we cannot use this kind of bright idea in India because of the social structure we have. We have created so the ultrasound can detect the gender of the child, right? The unborn child. So that is like that is by law it is abandoned in India. It's like you cannot reveal the gender. But if you see, it's like this is just my thought, guys. You can think about this. It's like the people who are in the highest of the pyramid, the ladies who are wearing the gym suits and doing exercise. Um, what do you think, guys? They will be informed, right? They will get the best of the diet, best of the exercise, best of the clinicians, regular checkups. So they are good, right? For a lady who maybe after this scan, she might be going and walking somewhere. Okay. For her, it matters the most. This is the moment that matters, right? So in India, how many of this has been undetected? So the first scan, people go to a sonographer, right? Maybe like first trimester or second trimester. It's like imagine the villages where people cannot afford all of this. So we can save a lot of life, guys. That is what I meant. And we can build a system which believes in that idea. And I believe design can play a very vital role in bringing or knitting all of this together. Okay? That is what I believe. So this is the story about the patients and the caregivers. I'm not saying doctors. I don't want to call doctors or technicians. They are like caregivers. Even an old lady who is advising you should have this diet at this period of time, she is a caregiver. So bring her in this story. Yeah. So this is the moment that matters for me. It's like, and you can see the triangle which is happening here. So you can see a confident and smile, right? It is a picture taken in Africa in a setting like that, carrying the instrument which cost like I said, the probe cost more than $1,000, but still somehow we can able to create that confidence for the user, right? And it works very well. It is like just your transistor. So that's an interesting design story. It's like uh, everybody asked if you see that it has a tablet, right? And we have put some extra batteries, and it has like some PCB circuits to kind of help the information come from the probe to the screen, and there is a software running. We could have made it like an iPad very easily. It's like sleek, uh, like the concept BMWs. We could have. I have personally made ideas like that in other segments. But if you ask me, I am proud of this. The handle. Most of the people question, do we need a handle? This makes it look bulky, right? Or we are going back several years by having this handle. Our ultrasound, all the other ultrasound what we made looks very modern, very sleek. Why this handle, right? And you can see why that handle kind of adds a lot of confidence, right? That is the usability. If you ask me, that is the best usability feature it has, apart from the probe holding on the side. So this is the two worlds I'm talking about, guys. It's like I have designed both the ultrasounds, similar looking ultrasounds on the left, which are like peak of the technology, right? Every 7-star hospital in the country has that, right? Even in Sweden, I can see this ultrasound, but I am proud of the right one, right? That is the moment that matters for me. It's like, remember I was talking about the emoticon, guys. the happiness, the emoticon is still the same, right? Only our social systems and the business models are different, right? You can see a wooden table. This the ultrasound on the right is as precise as the left one, right? And that will give a vital piece of information which can save the baby's life, which can save the mother's life, which can save the family's emotional quotient, right? It can do all of that. That is the moment that matters for me, guys. It's like these are the two worlds, and do you think this is bridged by technology? No, the technology was always there. It is not bridged by technology. It is bridged by human-centric thinking. It's like we have taken the care from this high-end hospital to a table which might be like shaking. Maybe all of its four legs are not equal. It might be shaking. Still, that works. That is the moment that matters for me, and that is the moment that matters for this product. So this is what I will kind of summarize: creating access. So this product is called vScan Access. So creating access, and if you ask me, there are two more S to it: happiness, right? So the people you see the picture, they are not like they are the caregivers, they are the midwives, right? They are no like a doctor with a dual degree or a PhD, but these are the guys who needs tools like this. They are in the field. Unless we think like this, nobody is going to enable them or empower them with such an idea. So do you have any question, guys? Anyone has any question? Or
Yeah, we'll take the questions the last, Jani.
okay, so, thanks.
We still have 10 minutes. Yeah.
Great. So I will talk about, this is one piece of PX. The another interesting piece of PX is the environment, the physical thing, right? So this is a hospital which is working, which is so you can see the same piece of technology lying in the center, right? So it will produce the same scan because both the instruments are same. It's like, but if you see the environment, this is a view from the technicians. It's a technician's view. There will be a glass window. He will be on the other side. He will be speaking to the patient, and he will be asking him to do certain like postures so that he can take the scan. Nobody, have you guys experienced taking a CT scan? It is like a horrible experience, right? It's like you can feel the radiation in every part of your cell, and this room will be like it will be like a ice country. It will be very cold, and you have certain bit of fear and anxiety, so which will make you feel more cold than actually it is, right? Then you go alone in this room, right? And you have never been in this instrument before. It is like one of like the horror movies you see, and your mind will be thinking, what will happen to me? What will happen to my family? It's like how I am going to like kind of move forward. So, and in that situation, you enter the room like this. Imagine the doctor or a technician who is doing this day in and day out, right? He should also better. He should also feel like the happiness. He should also understand he is trying to help people, right? To kind of say, if I have to draw a better sketch, right? As professional, we understand we go for like a specific tool, right? The specific tool kind of connects you to that idea. So, and your emotion, like sitting below a tree, listening to the song, standing in the mid of a traffic listening to the same song, it makes a lot of difference, right? So that is what it happens. So the right one is sitting below a tree, listening to the song, feeling the breeze on your face, and the left one is I don't know, you guys have been to Bangalore and experienced Bangalore traffic, sitting in the middle of the traffic with all the pollution, and you don't know when you will move again, and listening to the same song. So and you can see the screens, those are the lights can be changed, like you can change, and you have given an iPad so that before you go into this room, you have a hang of that room, and you can select certain things, the images you want to see on the walls, or a theme. Maybe I'll show a theme. So these are all digital screens. So imagine you are lying on that bed, you are looking at the coconut tree, right? So what do you think, guys? It will bring your anxiety down, or you know that you have seen that coconut tree in your iPad, and you are the one who have chosen this beach theme, and there are speakers which kind of make the sound of the waves, right? I cannot say which hospital we have done this. Imagine you are there and you are looking at uh, the screen on the top. It's like sleeping below the coconut tree and looking at the sky. So believe me, it's like it creates a difference. It creates a massive difference for the patients, the caregivers. The question is, it comes with some cost. Okay, so doing all of this to this solution is adding cost. Okay, can I charge the patient? Okay, so this is a question which is still open. So if you want a better PX, we have to kind of like see every thread and give it important and analyze the detail of it, right? So imagine it's like what the patient who felt he's being cared, and that is the first point, starting point in any kind of treatment. You should feel cared, and that is when your body starts working. So that's why most of the medicines have this bitter taste, right? It makes you feel you have taken something. That is the point, the starting point of any thing to work on your body, work on your system. So this is it, guys. So this is the moment that matters. The same instrument, like it can come in many forms, right? Like when the procedure happens, if the intervention cardiologist is doing a procedure, this is the moment matters to him. He just want light in the table. Okay, even your face of the patient will be in a darker area. Okay, so you can see that same thing. So lying there, the only thing he can see is, or only thing his eyes can interact with is that screen on your roof. Okay, so that is the moment that mattered to me, guys. That is the moment which matters to us as a team, right? So that is the moment I want to share with you guys, right? So these are like details of it, how we do it, right? With that, I hope I brought a smile in your faces, right? And that this is what I enjoy doing the most. It's like try to do skating in the space, right? How good, I don't know how I can explain that experience. Maybe you guys are best designers who can kind of understand that feeling. Yeah. Uh, Maybe that is what I want to, that's a moment I want to share with you guys. It's like, thanks
Yeah.
for this opportunity, Dayan. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I mean, thanks for deep diving into a couple of case studies and walking us through the design thought process, what actually went inside it, right? So yeah, I mean, we still have like 6 minutes. So audience, if you have any questions, please do post it there. So I have a couple of questions. Yeah, so what so what is the pivot? You said, right, you as an industrial designer, you started working on a lot of appliances and then moved into more towards this automobile, and then
Yeah.
so there was this pivot, right? Suddenly you said, okay, now, so even there you still are trying to design for audience, right? Are you still trying to design for people? So what is that the
Yes.
huge difference that you saw in the healthcare versus the other industrial designs?
Okay, yeah, that's yeah. So the pivot, the moment where I pivoted, it's like I started as an automotive designer. Then I thought it's like that's not a holistic experience. It's like I understood I am a part of something bigger, right? Then I started working with the 3M, where it's the most innovative company where I have like 9 patents from 3M. So one day I was sitting there and I was thinking, okay, is it the thing uh, kind of fills your heart? I felt, no, there is something which is still missing. Then I was searching. Then I found healthcare maybe the thing which can like fill my heart. So then I moved from 3M to healthcare, and I have designed a lot of products. It's like which are out in the market, which has brought a lot of commercial success. But the example I showed you, it kind of fills my heart. At some point, right? That is what matters for me the most.
Yep. Yep. Got that. Uh, another thing which always higher was because we come from this little bit of a digital product experience, right? So we also call product experience, but we don't have a physical product. But then like in when you try and do this physical product, right? So what are the big challenges, especially when you're trying to handle this, trying to target this, developing countries. So you guys actually went there and spend enough time there on the research. So how do we do the prototyping? So there's a lot of there must be a lot of back and forth, right? So how do you manage that?
Yes, so fortunately, we had a very big global team, and we have like a structured research team and a lot of voices of these clinicians and technicians around that part of the world. So that helped us with kind of visualizing this idea. And if you ask me what you have to bring your team together first, right? That is the biggest challenge. So they should also understand your point of view, right? So there is a technology, there is a certain segment of people. Okay, I kind of put it in a nice kind of skin and leave it out in the market, and I start working on the next piece, right? That is not the way to do it. You should share your passion with the other guys on the team. The design thinking and co-creation helped us to kind of share that common passion, and we brought all the skills nicely together, and we have built a lot of this quick prototypes with cardboards and paper and stuff like that. We started showing these prototypes yearly, very early, to these guys, and we were like making a detail of like every point. So we have built a lot, we have failed a lot of times. That is what I proudly say. We have failed a lot of times with initial ideas, with initial prototypes, but we have failed early, so that we can reach here.
Yeah. So also, like in terms of the pricing point, you mentioned that it's going to be a little on a higher end, when you say 1,000 USD, especially for the developing countries. So you guys didn't want to like uh, you know a little bit play with that. So I mean, how was it adopted? So were they willing to pay that willingly?
So if you see this, there, I mean, it's like I told we are not like the only people who have this passion, right? There are a lot of people out there in the field. There are clinicians, there are agencies who kind of share our common thing, right? If we show there is a possibility like this, and there are other hands which will come and pull this idea into the market. So that is what we have seen. It's like so for the midwives, it is like hiring a cycle. When I was a boy, I still remember I cannot offer I cannot offer a cycle. So we used to hire a cycle, but still the experience of riding a cycle, right? That is what matters. Whether you hire, you own it. So there are a lot of other hands when you bring the best of your idea, which can kind of go into all the segments. There are a lot of helping hands who will come into the picture and take us to the right target segment.
Okay. Yep, makes sense. So we have a question from audience. So how do you guys figure out? Like, I mean, there are like a lot of issues in healthcare, right? But why did you kind of figure out that pregnancy is a huge issue? Like, how did you guys nail down into a circular or into that? Is that from your as a G research team? It was given to you guys as a problem statement.
So we basically start with the need analysis, right? So there is certain needs and certain things, and these are the technologies as a company we have, so we can get into the market. So they have business plans. So and it comes with, as I say, we are fortunate. Like GE has like specific team which can produce these data for you on the table, so you can sit and analyze. It's like so. We have a separate segment called maternal care. So we had a funding from those guys, and we also believed we can make this vision bigger and make this product, and we can reach these segments. So that was like a common vision backed by a strong research.
Okay. Yep. Got it. So yeah, we are almost 2 past 5. So one last question. So I mean, what's your future plan? Any any interesting concept that you guys are working on, or if it's
Yeah,
not,
maybe.
yeah, you don't have to reveal it.
Yeah, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I like to share. It's like we are working on a lot of interesting things. It's like the things which I always believe in, this moment that matters and the bridge. We are just a bridge, right? And we need to identify the need, and sometimes you have to stretch in length, sometimes you have to stretch in breadth. It's like if you have to carry a lot of people to the other side, you have to stretch in breadth. And if it is a long term, like the vision concept. So yeah, it's itching for me to show the vision concept, but unfortunately we cannot share those vision concept.
Uh,
Which so I can make ensure one thing, guys. Maybe we'll have a session once these. There are other important areas where we have worked, like for example,
yep.
life sciences. So we have touched a lot of lives or hearts in that segment also. Maybe in some other session, I can show those examples.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yep. Awesome. Any closing notes?
So you're asking from me?
Yeah.
Or
Yes.
I'm speaking for last 50 minutes, guys.
Okay,
Maybe.
awesome, cool. So yes, I think we are good. I mean, thanks a ton for your time, and we wish you all the very best, and hope you do touch millions of lives, even for us. I mean, people in India as well. So whenever you guys get an opportunity, please do contribute your
Yeah,
device to
sure,
India.
Dayan. It's a one last message, guys. If you have working on some of the interesting threads which you think it's like it can touch lives of the people, and we can make this system align itself and kind of serve people
Yep.
who is on the other side of the world. I am
Absolutely.
on, guys. It's like you can call me anytime.
Oh, sure. Yep. Yep. Definitely. Will. Anyways, I think we'll share your coordinates in our FB channel and stuff. So yeah, people can follow you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Thanks
guys.
again, Tyagi, and yeah, have a great weekend. Thanks everybody, and we'll catch up next week again.
Yeah. Thanks, Thanks, guys.